Meredith, if you please call the roll.
Kelly Bray,
Present.
John Lillywhite, Mayor Costa,
Present.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. You received a copy of the minutes from the Monday, April 24th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No.
And I would entertain a motion regarding the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I will second that. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Is it now?
I talked to the Don, and I talked to the devil.
Should be done.
How about now?
Hello?
All right. User error, sorry, my fault.
You want to start over? Under new business, Mr. Porter, you have some street closures.
Good evening. We have three events to talk about this evening. The first one is the Routing the Valley 5K Run coming up on June 24th. The only concern that staff has is in regard to the route blocking the residents from Washington Street to Columbus and then from Second all the way over to Jefferson. They're not using, they've decided not to use suggested U-turn pattern as being done by other 5K runs. That's our only concern there. Staff does have a question regarding the board's preference. Because 5K runs don't take the full width of a street like a parade or another event, putting up no parking signs is very time intensive. And if the streets are blocked, would the board agree that putting up no parking signs is really not a good use of city time to do that for the short duration of the run and the fact that the street's blocked, they have the full width of the street for a relatively narrow set of participants. So, however, on that, but just some clarification as to the board's preference. If they want the streets marked, no parking, we'll do it. But again, it takes 5 to 8 hours just to mark to get the signs up, and then you have to take them all down afterwards, and it takes about another 2 to 3 hours. So,
I think it makes the most sense not to put the no parking signs up.
if we were doing a mini marathon where you have 20,000 runners, yeah, that's one thing.
Or like the Fall Festival Parade.
Right.
Or the 4th of July Parade.
Right.
Or the Christmas Parade.
Right. Parades are a little different because you've got water units, you've got bands, you've got floats, you've got other things. With the 5K run, normally you have maybe 2, maybe 3 people abreast at any point, but it's not for.
I guess the only thing that makes me nervous is someone going out and getting into their car during the race and driving away with it.
Well, and if proper notification is given, which is what we request as part of the application, then the resident should know that that's going on during that hour. So, but anyway, we can see, and if there's an issue, then we can come back to the board, and then we'll make an appropriate move on that. But anyway, I believe the 5K run to the board for your action.
Any questions for Mr. Porter?
I just have a comment. I'm worried if you don't put the no parking signs up, that you may be inviting a liability issue. And I understand the time that goes into doing that. I don't know if there's a way that you can impose on the organization having that to assist in that. I don't know.
We'll take a look at it and see. I think we can maybe work with our crew. I think we've got a little stronger crew than we had last year. Maybe we can divide it up. I think if we, so.
And one of the questions that we had for the people that had races last year, the organization, they understand that they're going to have the intersections blocked.
I felt like their application was very thorough in that.
And we are working to supply them with the names as we get them for volunteers who are signing up through our website, which we can still use more people to sign up for we're not seeing the great influx of volunteers, but we just need to remind folks that we have that becoming a volunteer option available, and they can assist with these events and help the community out and help the organization out by being a volunteer.
We'll get that on our Facebook. Make a plea for that. So if there's no other questions for Mr. Porter, then let's, go ahead and vote on the Rally in the Valley 5K run.
Do you have a problem with landlocking those homes for an hour and a half?
Is it a 2-hour period, would you say?
Probably the time they set the
Like
finish for
7
their
to 9:30.
7 to 9:30, I assume that route is used to it. I mean, I hate to be like that, but
August the 11th. Staff has a concern about closing Main Street from Morgan to Pike because of the other issues that we've had in that neighborhood when we do that with neighboring businesses and residents, particularly on Friday night. And does take, and I don't know if they gave any consideration, and I've not talked with them to see if they gave any consideration of maybe using the venue where we have Jefferson Street already have that ability to easily shut the street down with minimal inconvenience to neighboring businesses and residents. And there are representatives here, is my understanding.
I'm here.
Okay.
Guys, okay. Hi, guys. Bunch of office supplies closed, there's a tattoo shop, he's by appointment only. There's a surveying place over this way from me. There's a vape shop that's not open yet, I don't know if it'll be open then, but they can probably use this as an event too, to draw business to their, people too as well.
And you talked to,
Greeks.
I did not talk to Greece, but I can.
because
It's gonna-
they use the alley for their delivery.
Yes, that, and I can talk to them, that wouldn't be a problem, I can find out when their delivery schedule is.
And then make sure the ladies at the retreat know.
Yes. I can do that.
And I don't know if there's any plan for break house or not. Claire didn't have things to see if it was too. Michelle, got anything planned?
I mean, we do have other parking areas besides just that street too. We have, parking in other areas. And it's not that long, it's from 5 to 9, and it's just a one-time thing as a celebration for hip hop. It's a 50-year anniversary, so we really want to do something special. And I do know that that stage is closed, and we could use that, and we are going to use that for another event. But hip hop is originated in the streets, so it makes more sense to,
Yeah,
I would
area.
definitely consider that.
I mean, I don't mean to turn your ideas upside down, because I think it's great. I think it sounds like a great celebration. It does make me a little nervous to shut down the brick house if she's got an event there, just because.
Oh, yeah, I would never want to hurt one of my fellow businesswomen. for
Sure, right. So,
And I know some of the situations that came up the last 2 times we tried to close down North Main Street, and we kind of said we would not do that again.
okay. So if you,
I
I think it's a great event, so I don't want to shut you down completely, but if you want to think about, we can table it, you can think about putting it on Jefferson Street.
Well, actually, I don't even really need to table that as long as Justine, my partner, is okay with that. I think it's beautiful there, I just didn't really think about Jefferson Street, and I do like that street, and that would be fine with us.
Okay, so Mac, will you confirm this with Ashley tomorrow?
Would just the one block be enough, or would you need to bring it all the way to Morgan Street? Because I think there's barricades that we can put up that blocks off, just
There are
the,
ballots that they go
Right.
to Jefferson.
Justine, what do you think? One block is fine.
yeah.
How, let me ask you this, when people are walking back and forth, do you want Pike Street closed? Because we could close Pike from Main to Sycamore.
I don't think it's necessary,
Okay.
I really don't. It's gonna be a pretty large event, but I think that's not really gonna be a problem, it's not like Pike Street's very busy. But thank you for the offer.
If you get a huge crowd, you can use the grounds.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so we'll entertain a motion with the amendment from.
Right, I'll make the motion for the celebration of hip hop, to close down Jefferson Street in front of the stage.
I'll second.
That map, and you just fix it. And if there is, then we'll come back to the next meeting with a change order, to go back to the original plan, if there is something else scheduled for the meeting, like a way or something like that.
Sure.
Okay, I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. The motion carries.
Thank you.
I'll check with Stan.
I'll actually, in one, so. The last one is the Morgan County Humane Society fundraiser, which is going to be a drive-through drop-off contribution behind First Christian Church. They're looking to close Jackson Street for the one block from here at Jefferson over to Main Street, and as they will pull through, and then if they have their pets with them, they can take them over to the parking lot at the Haven, to have the pets blessed. Staff doesn't have any, because of the short duration of that on a Saturday afternoon, staff has no concerns.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion that we accept the street closure for the habitat.
I will second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Mr. Coffey? Before you,
Tonight, an agreement for the exchange of service between Morgan County and the city of Martinsville in regards to road maintenance of certain roadways. We've had interlocal agreements such as this in the past. And they terminate after 3 or 4 years. So this is a renewal, if you will, with a little bit of changing as to certain roads, and they're outlined specifically in the agreement, particularly Jordan Road, also Lynn Drive and Timberdale, as far as who's responsible for resurfacing as well as the ditches on both sides. So we negotiated this with the county over several months, and this is a finished product I feel comfortable with. The county did approve this at their May 1st meeting, so it's before you tonight for your consideration.
I'll make a motion that we accept the exchange of services between the county and the city.
I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. Birthday boy, you're up. We were gonna make you stand on the table.
I might go to both on
We don't want to do that.
The first one we have before you tonight is with Banning Engineering. This is a project that the RDC has been, I think this is the 5th phase at this point. This is the final phase. This is a closeout, and it's a not-to-exceed contract of $60,000. And always, that work has progressed the last 4 years with them, has somewhat depended on the accessibility. I'll get to the manholes. This is a project where you open up every single manhole, and you drop a camera down in there, and you measure for the elevations of the inverts. So it's a mapping process. So as that mapping process to GIS then, so it's all digital, and then that phase then goes to Ziptility, which is another software package we interconnect with that our pool people can use. They can look and see what's in that manhole, see what's going on there. It's been very beneficial to us right now as we move forward with the sewer lining project. So we've been in areas that were already mapped, and so if there were questions there, we could relate to them. I can pull it up on a map, or I can pull it up on a map, the field guys can pull it up on a map, and we can see what problems we might be able to project and be able to accomplish work in those areas. So this is the final phase of the RDC project, not to exceed $60,000.
Any questions for Gary?
No.
I would entertain a motion regarding the contract.
We had an original phase of work for the police station, and as you probably recall, part of the deal when you do something like that is there's no change orders. Well, this is a change order because we're changing the scope. This is the full addition of the basement, which is adding us about almost 70% of the first floor square footage, and finishing all of it at what they're calling a white box right downstairs, so that both the fitness areas, the showers, the bathrooms, the IT areas, all those are finished areas. And this is all connected with an elevator. Big expense you have when you add another floor, whether it's up or down, is putting an elevator in, so this includes the elevators to those additions. So this is a change order in the amount of $800,000, takes our contract package to $5,600,000 at that point, $5,500,000 at that point, I'm sorry. And that completes our package of change orders. I got approval of a change order in the amount of $800,000, taking our contract to $5,500,000.
And we've got the funding for it.
Yes, yeah, we're covered for it. We have other monies besides this. We have what's called FF&E, which is the furnishings, that's the budget we have for that. We've used up almost all of the contingency at this point, though. We're far enough into the project, though. We've already done our site development work, we've done our coring samples, we've got a phase 1 and phase 2 environmental samples being completed, so we don't project have any unknowns or unforeseens at this point.
Was this basement an unknown though?
The basement what?
Did we know we were gonna put a basement?
We've been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We were told early on we couldn't afford a basement.
I'll make a motion, we accept the change order.
Okay, I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Tonight we have a few more sewer adjustments we've had recently. 160 East South Street, Apartment 2, $739.78. 180 Bureau Drive, $212.81. 869 South Grant Street, $313.03. 13 Dalton Lane, $19.14. 1290 South Josephine Street, $592.27. 329 North Park Avenue, $789.33. And 239 West Harrison Street, $673.34. We received information on those prior to the meeting. Any questions?
No questions, I'll make a motion, we accept the sewer adjustments.
I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no, motion carries. We will have a Board of Works workshop on Monday, May 22nd, beginning at 4:30 here in the council chambers. The purpose of the workshop is to review the employee manual and the SOPs and SOGs for the fire and police. The workshop is open to the public, however, no public comment will be received, nor will any decisions be made by the board during that session. The next regular session of the Board of Works will be on Monday, May 22nd, at 6:30, here in the council chambers. We are adjourned.